Hey everybody, Jerome Maldonado. So I recorded a video last week about the new housing supply action plan that the White House put together to be able to, the key behind it is to resolve the affordability in housing nationwide. And so I sat down and I was researching the National Association of Home Builders and how they felt about the new Biden action plan to come in and reduce the housing prices. And so one of the big things as I read and I start doing more research is the lack of attention that's been put towards really resolving the main issues. And so in spite of how proud we are for the White House even addressing this issue at this point in time, because we know it wasn't on their agenda, this issue has now been forced down the White House's throat to be able to address. We already know that their agenda is years ahead of what's happening right now, and they have ulterior motives as to what they're doing and what their agenda is pushing towards. So in spite of that, now this housing crisis has been put right into their face. It's been magnified, and the American people are sitting back going, hey, White House, Biden, President, Congress, what are you going to do to help us resolve this housing crisis, the affordability for people to be able to get into single family and multifamily homes? What's going to be done to resolve this? And so the White House was faced with, okay, we need to find a solution. So they threw this housing supply action plan together that was kind of a little arbitrage, quick deal. They said, you know what, let's throw some financing options to make money more affordable for people. We've been pumping money into the economy anyway, so if we just make money more affordable and make lending more affordable, and we make it more available to them in spite of it even being affordable, in spite of interest rates going up, we'll just give them financing options for home buyers so we can increase the purchases of new homes. And if we increase the purchases of new homes, but where are we really dealing with the production? Because there's still a need for homes. And I was listening to a video this morning, and one of the guys, I can't even remember his name, but he was going in talking about how the housing market was overinflated and that there was too much homes on the market, and people going in looking for homes has dropped. New home buyers shopping for homes has dropped by 35%. So there's not a need for homes anymore, which is total bullshit. There's a total need for homes. The only problem is people don't know where they're going. They can't afford to get into homes. And part of the issue that home builders are facing is the cost of materials. We're building houses right now, and we're having issues with suppliers that we've been doing business with for over 25 years. And we have other suppliers that are willing to work with us on pricing and give us more affordable pricing and even cut back on their profitability to make things more affordable. And then we have other people that are being selfish and greedy and aren't willing to work with us at all, that we have 25 plus year relationships with. And so hence, where do you think we'll migrate? To the people who are willing to work with us. So the real issue in the supply chain is affordability. How do we get things back down to an affordable cost so that we can continue the production of homes? Because both the National Association of Home Builders and the White House both agree that to resolve the national housing affordability challenge, it's to build more homes. And they're both congruent and both in agreement that we need more homes, but we just need more homes at a more affordable price. So the affordable housing model is what's important right now. So hence, I've been talking about this for about the last 3 years. And I say, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to build multifamily developments. And the reason we're building multifamily developments is because we need more affordable housing. Now, we're not going after a ton of the affordable housing requirements where we get rent caps and so forth, and we're put on a place where we can't push and leverage our apartment buildings over the course of time. But it's still a business model that today works. And the reason why is we can take an asset that typically it is renting and leasing in a Class A standpoint on multifamily at higher rent rates, someplace for like $2,000 for single one bedroom, so one bed, one bath apartments. Now, what we do is we go in, we strip out amenities, we build for less cost and more affordable. We make them more affordable to the end user, so we compete with what's called Class B rents. So it's older apartments that were built in the early 2000s, late 1990s, that are still really attractive and great properties, but just don't have the same amenities that today's Class A apartments have. So we're able to compete with those rents, but still offer them the brand new construction that new construction gives them. So they have that new fill, new paint, new architecture, new everything without all of the with all the amenities stripped down, and then give them more of an affordable housing availability to be able to move into, which is a win-win situation for everybody. We profit, we lease, and people have rooftops. So in spite of having over 600,000 homes in production right now, we still need over 1.5 million just over the next 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we still have over 5 million homes that need to be built. And we have 600,000 under production right now. We need more. But the problem is that, think about it in this perspective. If you wake up in the morning and you go to work, do you expect a return in the form of pay for the efforts you put in to go to work? Everybody expects a return on their investment in time. They want to see profits. And so for home builders right now, what's happening is that home buyers are on strike. They're sitting back going, you know what? We're done with inflation. Now we have increased interest rates. The prices are crazy, and you guys are going to increase interest rates on us. We're going to boycott this. We're going on strike. We're not shopping no more. So take a look at it. It's happening at Walmart. It's happening at Target right now. These guys have so much inventory. They went in ordering so much inventory that they have an abundance of inventory that they've never had before. So if you look at the stock market and you wonder why Target and Walmart stocks, and I own Walmart stock, and I saw it plummet this month. I think on Walmart alone, I lost like $30,000 this last month. And they have about a 2-year supply of inventory that's going to sit on their shelves. So what that means for consumers is they're going to have to put that stuff on sale, and you as end consumers are going to land up going in and getting discounted prices on large bulk items, because the necessities people are buying, the bread, the commodities, the food, the toiletry, all of the personal care products, all of that stuff is selling. But the large ticket items, the televisions, the vacuum cleaners, the furniture, all of that stuff, people have halted. They say, you know what, we're going on strike. We're not going to pay those crazy prices. We're done shopping. So 35% of end users have stopped shopping for inventory in regular day in, day out household goods, like our big, like refrigerators, like washers and dryers, like televisions, all of that expensive stuff. People said, we're done. And that's what's happening in the housing market right now, especially on the lower end housing market where affordability is an issue. People sit back and go, we're not paying the higher interest rates, and we're sick of paying we're not paying the higher interest rates, and we're not paying these inflated values. And so what needs to happen is more affordable housing needs to be pumped out into the market so it's an even playing field. Because what happens is these builders want an ROI. They want a return on their investment too. And so if inflation goes up and then plateaus, but inflation of materials continues to rise and go up, then it gets to a point where there's a threshold of reasonability that gets superseded, and then home builders say, forget this, we're not just going to continue building and pay these inflated prices unless things plateau. Now, how do we fix that? It's lumber. Lumber's the biggest issue right now. Builders are facing over 35% increase on lumber costs just over the last 2 years of the pandemic. And so how do we resolve that? Well, I'll tell you, if we get rid of the tariffs in Canada and we end the tariffs and we allow the Canadians to bring lumber into the United States, that would ease the lumber shortage. That would ease prices on lumber. If the federal government went in and said, hey, local lumber mills, let's produce and boost output from the lumber mills, that would also help. But what's happened right now is that local lumber mills are sitting back going, you know what, we're done. We're only going to produce what we can produce, and that's it. But if they gave them tax incentives or they gave them reasons to be able to boost production economically, it would help ease the lumber shortage cost, the boosted increase in lumber costs, and would increase the availability of lumber. Hence, supply and demand, it would allow lumber costs to go back down. Now, some of the two things that the National Association of Home Builders told the White House, they commended them and said, hey, good job for looking at this, but your action plan isn't good enough. We need two things that need to be done. One, lumber costs and affordability, that needs to be addressed. And then two, the supply chain issues. What are you going to do to resolve these two things? Those are the two issues that really need to be resolved. And the action plan from the White House only resolves financing options. And so financing options alone are a great start, but it's not going to be a resolution to what needs to happen currently to be able to make the housing market really do what it needs to do to perform for affordable housing to be produced at the rate and magnitude that it needs to. And so really, lumber, the tariffs on Canada need to be lifted, and lumber needs to come back in from Canada into the United States. So Canadians, get your productions, your sawmills ready. We need Congress to be able to come in and say, let's open up these tariffs, let's relieve these tariffs, let's bring that lumber in, and let's get this supply chain issue resolved. Local lumber mills, you guys need to vamp up production. We need to get some employees and people pressing in these lumber mills to vamp up production and supply and demand, and have more supplies enter into our market to meet our demand instead of restricting the demand in this crazy housing shortage that we have, so we can continue moving forward. Now look, ladies and gentlemen, those of you guys who are buying land, building houses, just know that this talk is all great stuff. Without talk, you can't go anyplace. Imagine if you're in a relationship and you know that there's issues, but you don't talk about them, they never get resolved. But at least if you talk about them, they start getting resolved. And so because it's at the attention of everybody's forefront, in their face, and it's in the front face of our Congress, our legislators, our president, it's in the face of the National Association of Home Builders, the home builder industry, all the contractors are willing to participate in helping resolve the housing crisis. We just need help from our legislators. We need help from our government and our president to be able to help open up some of this stuff to allow what needs to happen to flow. Now, will they do it? We hope so. But it only is going to happen if you voice and lobby for the fact that these are the two items that really need to be addressed: supply chain issues and the increased lumber costs and affordability. Let's get those tariffs lifted. Let's get the Canadians bringing more lumber into the United States. Let's get this housing shortage going, and let's start pumping out some homes. Let's buy land, build houses, and let's profit from it. If you haven't worked with us, you want to learn how to work with us and be part of the solution instead of part of the problem, then I'm going to put a link down below where you can click, schedule a call with my team, and learn how you can be a part of the solution. Because like I've always said, where there's massive problems, there's profitability if you're on the end of solving these massive problems. Where massive problems exist comes massive opportunity for financial success. Click below, learn how to buy land, build houses, and profit from them. I look forward to seeing you into 2023 as you and I resolve this crazy housing crisis.